Hello, and welcome back to another moon call with me. I'm Safrianna Luna, the queer spirit guide. And how long has it been since I started doing these now? I guess it's been about 2 years. And it always is very deeply nourishing to me to connect with you wherever you are, in whatever time and space, whether you're catching this live or in the replay, to just tune into this moment in time. This moment in time is never going to happen again. This moment in time is here to teach us something completely unique to itself. And so when we build in these mindful moments where we choose to tune in, there is so much just nourishing goodness that's available to us. So thank you for joining me, and let's dive in. So I have been really enjoying starting these moon calls with Tamara Child's newsletters because I think that she is just an incredible astrologer and intuitive, and she writes such beautiful reports. If you are not already on her newsletter, you can go to Tamara Child's. .com, I believe, and get signed up for it because it's really, really great. But she also shares them here on Facebook, so you can kind of end in her newsletter, in her communities, here on Facebook, wherever else she posts. I don't know, but I want to bring it to you. So she wrote, "This week we are building to a full moon in Scorpio. This makes for a very intense emotional week. This moon digs to the bottom and is in a T square with Pluto, meaning there is no way to avoid transforming some of the struggles you're up against. First, this weekend, we are feeling the ignition of Uranus conjunct Jupiter. The key to your liberation is listening to your intuition. And we're going to get into that tonight with Scorpio a lot. So, being able to listen to the higher vibrational influences that want you to inform your life and the importance of being in create mode. Feeling dissatisfied and uninspired is a symptom of misdirected energy. Human beings are often provoked into reaction by deliberate manipulation. But one of the purposes of our imperfect world is to remind us to create, not regurgitate. If all we do is react, we are so disempowered. If you've gotten drained by what you see, remember the inspiration is best sourced from you. If you've temporarily forgotten, this is probably because you're creatively frustrated. The key to releasing this discouragement is giving yourself permission to invent what you're looking for. So she asks, what are your high values for your life, and how are those being properly funneled or not? Is a quality life what you desire for yourself? And are you tired of the world's trashy displays? I love that question. And you might be picking up, she says, on distress and malaise right now, sort of anxiety, exhaust fumes. So I really love this summary. Again, that's Tamara Childs, and she is just incredible. So thinking about all of that, Scorpio is often associated with really intense emotions. Scorpio is definitely one of the signs that seems to get a bad rap and be sort of misunderstood. And I think that that is because of its associations with our most profound emotions, our most vulnerable emotions, and that intuition, similarly to Pisces. So Scorpio can be very intense and passionate energy, and also mysterious and secretive at the same time, right? This like very big energy potentially, but also this withdrawn energy, this sort of ebb and flow of water that's really here. And, as Tamara shared, and as I'm sure you're feeling at this point in time, there is an intensity of emotions. I'm seeing this collective rise of processing that's happening right now, people getting really clear about this life that they don't want to live, and where we're going next. And we get to design that. We get to design the life that we want to live. And I know that pretty much at every moon circle, it's a time of transformation, it's a time of release, all of that. But it's a different sort of transformation at every point in time. As I kind of started out, this point in time is never going to be here again in your perceived awareness. You can kind of hop backward and forward to it, but this point in your conscious awareness and being present, has something completely unique to share with you. So, what are you needing to transform right now? So, I know there's been a lot of energy of irritation lately, limitation, uh, rubbing up against the machine, feeling like a cog, feeling the endless to do lists. There's been a lot of rubbing with this hustle culture, and is it worth sort of living this life by other people's designs? I'm seeing so many more people questioning that at this point in time. So, as we get into our ritual this evening, I'm going to really invite you to think about transformation, especially around your emotional landscape and how that relates to you just showing up and giving your energy in the world, because Scorpio really invites a deeper level of introspection, and we want to make space for that. So, one last little energetic note about Scorpio, aside from sort of renewal and rebirth, as many of the signs get little bits and pieces of, that's extra strong here. Scorpio comes to me with almost like a death energy, and I think that's a really good thing. But there's also this extra layer of intimacy and empowerment and intimacy. So, as you take all of that in and you just land here in this moment, we're going to get started in actual ritual. So, the way this will flow is we're going to set some intentions. I'm going to do an energy clearing. I will channel a visualization meditation, and then I will draw some cards for the collective. I have my notebook right here if you want to grab a notebook and a pen to jot down anything that comes forward for you. Let's just start with intentions. And of course, you can share these in the chat or not. It is completely up to you. But what is your intention as we go into the dark chapter of the moon? So tonight is the full moon. We're celebrating this sort of completion energy. We're also going to be releasing what didn't serve us. So, what's your intentions as we go into these next 2 or so weeks? What are you letting go of? What is your intention for what you're creating? What intentions do you have for this phase? There's no right or wrong answer, but you might want to jot it down. And I'm going to do that along with you. Hi, Miss Baby. The word reassess is coming in really powerful for me here, to reassess what's not working, to reassess what really we've learned over the last 2 weeks since this eclipse, right? So, on the other side of this was the eclipse when we kicked off with this new moon. And this moon cycle was that incredible eclipse event. And so, there's been a lot of supercharged emotions and ahas for people and whatnot. So, I'm getting this like reassess everything based on what you've learned over these last few weeks, like even in a microcosm. And my intention is I'm still trying to figure out how to word this. I feel like I want to journal extensively about it, but during this dark period of the moon ahead, to reassess what isn't working in my doing energy. It's something I'm constantly looking toward, is that optimization, but I feel a particular strong towards this reassessment right now. So, and again, remembering Tamara's question, what are your high values for your life? Like, what's most important? Because maybe you're not making enough space for those things. So let's make some space. I'm going to go ahead and do some energetic clearing here. And you can clear in your own space however you want or need to. But just allowing yourself to be present, to breathe, and especially here to use the inhale as a means of calling yourself back. And the exhale is a means to let go of anything that isn't you, that's not self. Releasing, releasing, releasing everything since this eclipse that we have recognized is no longer in alignment. Noticing themes in life of shame, fear, and disappointment, and where those emotions or experiences are coming up. Is there something there that we need to release? Is there an idea, a person, a job, a belief, a behavior that is keeping us stuck in that shame, fear, or disappointment? Three of the most intense things we can possibly feel, three of the lowest or most unpleasant feelings we can possibly feel. But where are we creating that for ourselves? Where are we holding those pockets of emotion within us without even looking at what they have to teach, just being stuck in them? Again, coming back to your breath, breathing in all that's you and exhaling, blowing out anything that's ready to be cleared. And I'm just releasing here energetically on behalf of the collective, anyone whose energy is ready to release these themes, these lessons, these burdens from the last 2 weeks or so. Knowing everything's intertwined and all of these experiences are informed off of past experiences, but releasing any of the threads that would seek to spoil the future that we're building, this aligned future that we are choosing to create. Gently releasing anything that blocks us from what we are here to create. And remembering here, as always, that releasing, clearing, cleansing is an ongoing process that we return to again and again because we're constantly picking up dust and noise and distortion along the way. So I invite you to just take a nice deep breath here and really let it go. Let the exhale be like a whoosh, a wave. Just letting all that no longer serves you, that you're ready to let go, that doesn't have anything else to teach you, go. So we'll go into a time now of guided visualization and meditation, but know, as always, that you are welcome to receive this however is authentic to you. You may choose to journal, have your eyes open, closed, lay down, seated, standing, dancing, whatever is right for you as you receive this transmission. And I will just say, I never know what is going to come out. I just kind of let my intuition and the energy guide me. I may speak light language. If you hear me speaking something that does not sound English, this is me speaking language, and the sounds and syllables are just energy frequencies meant to help you activate a new state of being. And you can receive or reject that energy as you wish, as with all of this experience. So go ahead and find yourself comfortably however you will receive this. And just dropping once again into the breath here. Whether you have the eyes opened or closed, however you choose to receive this, just moving back to the breath, remembering you have the breath as an anchor for you at any point in time. It is your forever companion. It is here for the entirety of this life. So dropping down from your head space down, using the breath to sink within the chest, into the heart space. And we'll take a few moments just to land in the heart space. And as we land in the heart space, we begin to gently open a portal to elsewhere from within the heart. This portal opening before you to show you a beautiful and serene nature scene. It might be a scene you've seen before, it might be an entirely new environment. But as you feel called, still anchored to your breath, you are welcome to step through that portal, beginning to take in the details, however you receive them, whether through knowing, messages, visualizations, smells. Seeing yourself or sensing yourself surrounded by the majesty of nature, noticing if it's light or dark out, if the full moon is in the sky. And you see a sort of monument somewhere nearby, a statue or a monument. It might be sort of human sized or much larger, but something prominent in the landscape that you feel drawn toward. And as you find your way towards this monument, you begin to notice that there is a scorpion guide sitting right on the monument somewhere, whether on the base or clinging to the side or sitting right on top. This scorpion guide, you can immediately tell, has no ill will toward you, no harm if you happen to have a fear of insects. This one is sitting completely calmly, and you can feel this profound emotional energy coming from it. You know that you're safe to approach the monument to study the form and to connect with the scorpion guide. But just notice the imagery. Notice what symbolism arises for you here. What is this monument to, and why are you being shown this? Is this actually a false monument to an outdated idea? Or is it a guidepost urging you forward? As you connect with this scorpion guide, you know the answer, whether it's for you or not for you. Scorpion would like to connect with you, to commune with you about the emotions that you have been avoiding, the desires that you have been avoiding, the depth of mystery that exists within you, ready to be untapped. Scorpion is here to help you forge a new path, to revitalize your sense of life, and to renegotiate your relationship with the toxins, the poison, the venom of your past. In this space, I invite you to connect with Scorpion and see what messages might be here for you about how you are renegotiating your relationship with the toxic, venomous things of your past. Kotikita kaktishtmakayo kota koikatadai kachtamaka koinamkakai tatikachtakaka koinakami katakati kata katapachtakamaka. Just opening yourself to whatever wisdom is here or is not here. Knowing that you will receive exactly what you need to receive. There is no right or wrong answer. And trusting in your higher self, your highest self here, that you do have the answers for you. And Scorpion acknowledges the fear that is in all of this, the fear in confronting the dark side of the emotions, the fear that exists in being with the unsavory aspects of ourselves, or so we have told ourselves. Scorpion is here to show you the transformative power that exists when you face the shadow head on. Scorpion wants you to know what is possible. What is possible for you if you only allow yourself to feel the full depths of what it is you came here to feel, so that you can create, you can express, you can be fully in alignment and in tune with your intuition, which takes complete vulnerability and openness with all aspects of ourselves, so that we can learn to discern and filter through what it is we need to hear. Kwa nikaktishtamakwai kata. Hiana kata tayo kushtamaya katatiwa kata. Honakayashta muktadaya. Activating in every cell of your being, opening up to your highest intuitive self, knowing that in the depths, the darkest depths of your emotions is also glimmers and gems of wisdom that you can retrieve if you are willing to sift through that venom of the past and reach inward to find them. You get to be in new relationship with your intuition, with the darkness of your past, with the aspects of yourself that you wished would cease to exist. They are here for you now to show you why they do exist, the gifts that they have to offer you. Scorpion medicine is showing you, teaching you that just because something looks scary does not necessarily mean that it is. And yet, Scorpion understands this fear that you may have. Claim for yourself the right to feel. Claim for yourself the right to heal without efforting. Claim for yourself the ability to be in this human experience with all layers of what it means to be human. Opening yourself to what it means to be alive, to love, to be free. That is what Scorpion wants for you. Perhaps you leave something an offering to the monument, or perhaps you topple it. Whatever feels appropriate in this moment, allow yourself to say goodbye to this monument, whether permanently or allowing it to stay here within the altar of your heart. Allow Scorpion either way to be safely tucked away, returned to this beautiful nature scene, giving deep gratitude for the guidance that we receive, for the knowing of perfect timing, and for the coming together to be open to inner healing work, to expanding our capacity to be with ourselves. And then, in your own time and way, once again, bringing the attention back to the breath, just calling yourself back with each breath. And finding that portal back into the heart, saying goodbye to this scene, knowing this inner sanctuary is here to be returned to, perhaps waving at the full moon as you exit, and then gently coming back into your body in your own way and time. If your eyes are closed, opening them when you are ready. And just take some time to jot down any notes if you need to. And of course, you are always welcome to share. I have some people who receive these and reach out privately to just share a vision they had or something that came through to them. That is a welcome. You're always welcome to email me at guide@safrianna.com. I'm also available, Safrianna, on Discord, and usually pretty open to conversations there. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you receive these energy activations and something comes up for you, because I know it does all the time. So my experience I just had was very interesting. The monument was to the Buddha, and I've studied Buddhist philosophies quite a bit, starting when I was 18. But I saw myself toppling it in a very interesting way. Not to say that Buddhism is bad. That was not what it was about. It was like separating myself from institutions that teach anything, in a one size fits all sort of approach. Hi, Carrie. Welcome in. If you are just now tuning in, of course, remember you'll want to go back to receive the full energy activation. So I'm going to just pull a couple cards for the collective. One has already come out. Let me just double check here. Who else wants to come out? Okay. So, this Scorpio energy for me is really, really bringing up a lot of intense emotions around my future and uncertainty, and really that like resourceful, resilient part of their nature, to really want to pave out the best path for me. And in that is a lot of perfectionism and, rubbing up against uncomfortable emotions. And so I want to be just sort of transparent, to demonstrate like we're all going through something. I've had all kinds of family stuff coming up recently. There's been a lot of like reanalysis of my past. I've been writing my poetry book recently, which is literally a deep dive into my past. I have been sitting in so many conversations with like the global issues and just the junk that's happening in life. And I nearly didn't get out of bed today. I was in bed until like 11 or 11:30, I think, was when I was finally like up and at it for the day. So I say this to normalize whatever your experience is, whether you're a professional, whether you're a stay-at-home parent, whether you are like juggling 50 things or five things, like you're human at this point in time and it's challenging. So, like, be with yourself, and these emotions that are coming up again, the irritation, the limitation, the stuckness, all of that is there, like encouraging you to see what's not working. So this is a time to keep standing in your boundaries and say, like, this is not working. I'm not doing that anymore. To keep releasing, to move forward in a more easeful and heart open way, whatever that looks like for you. So, our three cards, and I'm pulling from Gateway of Light Activation by Kyle Gray tonight. So, as you are moving into this full moon energy as you're moving into the weeks ahead. These are activations, more energies for you to work with as you're navigating this junk, right? Because it's going to be an emotional roller coaster for many of us. But the temple of truth, it's time for you to speak your truth and sit with your truth, even if it's uncomfortable. It is time for you to express authentically, even if it rubs up against people in the wrong way, as we like to say. Your feelings and your needs, you're allowed to pursue them in an open and integrity filled way, and you're allowed to stand firm when other people cannot respect you. This does not mean attacking others. It does not mean demeaning others. It means standing in our truth and continuing to build the life of our truth through our actions, not through trying to control others. So speak your truth and open that throat chakra and know that you can be authentic. We also have a third eye activation here. And so this really is speaking to that intuitive piece that comes with Scorpio energy, right? Scorpio, when in tune, can really sense into this extra layer of intuitive information. And so this one, it's like walking through the doorway into your intuition. It is time to claim that intuition for yourself. It is time to receive that energy. And again, it comes with connecting to your emotions. I know that's not what most people like to hear, but the more that you connect to the fullness of your being, your mental faculties, your emotional felt sense, your body, and your energy or your spirit, right? We are multidimensional, and our feelings bridge the gap between the mental and the physical and then move up into the spiritual, right? Ecstatic bliss, enlightenment can be almost felt or emotional states. If you've experienced it before, you sort of know what I mean. And if you're not quite sure what I mean, just continue to expand into your multidimensional self, mind, body, spirit, and your feelings. All of that comes with that. And then stellar gateway activation. And this is really saying that there's a portal that's open for us as we step through to be with our emotions, as we are manifesting this future that we want, right? We get to open up infinite possibility for everyone. It's not just us. We open this gateway and we welcome other people through it. And we say, like, you have infinite potential too. As we begin to believe we have infinite potential, that ripples out towards others, and intuition can open on a higher scale. I mean, the more of us that are not so judgmental about our gifts, the more the gifts are going to get to shine in the world, right? How cool is that? So we just need to keep walking through activating who we are and who we came here to be, and know that I mean, this is a planet ultimately of manifestation, and that takes aligning our thoughts and our energy and taking action towards what we want. So I hope this was useful for you. Again, if you're tuning in later here in the live, go back to receive the full energy activation, meet with Scorpion Guide, and get some energy clearing. And otherwise, I will continue for as long as this feels soul aligned and fun for me to offer these moon calls twice a month, new moon and full moon, completely free of charge on YouTube and Facebook. So keep tuning in if this speaks to you. I will be back. It'll likely, I'm just double checking my little moon calendar here. We will be back on May 7th for the next moon, which will be in Taurus. So I can't wait to see you there. Again, know that I'm holding space and just love for you wherever you are, whoever you are. And I can't wait to hold space with you again. Until next time, I'm Safrianna.